So for this video, I'm going to go ahead and go over some of the things that I've been doing, and it's pretty much for me, but also for you guys to watch this and kind of do your own analysis and see the same things that I'm doing. I'm using my YouTube channel from now on to not only educate you guys, but definitely educate myself and to take a look at what these stocks are doing by recording them and then going back and checking, the data. So today's trade, we are officially up $27.25, $2,725, and I'm pretty much done for the day. We can see that the first stock that I did trade was RGLS. It came in from the scanner. Many of you guys, if you've watched some of my recent videos, I literally made some shorts and some short videos and some long videos on how to scan using the TradingView pre-scanners, pre-market scanners, and their unusual volume scanner, and how to coordinate those for potential stock movers. So by using that, RGLS popped up this morning, and looking back, this thing actually started on March 12th, which was yesterday. Today's Wednesday, March 13th. So this thing started kind of trading pre-market yesterday. It went from $1.35 all the way up to $2.70. And then in the official day, it went up to $3.73. And today is where I traded it. It's probably fallen down. Obviously, you can see the volume. Today was a quick couple grand on it, and we'll go over that. But taking a look at Stock Journal, this is a journal that is free. You can track all of your trades, your entry points, your data, you can make journal entries, notes, etc., etc. So I'm using it to track all of my data for this year. Last year, we've gotten into the hedge fund, and the previous year, so I've kind of been out of my personal trading for about 2 years now. I had my tracker over at Profitly, which was, I think, created by Timothy Sykes, and now I'm over here at Stock Journal to officially track my trades for this year starting out. So as you can see, we're up 24.5%, not too bad, given the SP is usually 18 to 20%, so we're just past that, and it's only March, and hopefully I continue these good wins. So as you can see, some of these, the holding periods are not very long. Yesterday was 23 hours. I did lose 800. Today was 8 minutes, 16 minutes, 5 minutes, 40, and 7. 8 minutes was the 1200 for RGLS, going into CLRO for $300 for 16 minutes. 5 minutes, try to chase it, make some money back. Lost on it, and I was chasing, trying to get this 150 loss back. I only made 25 bucks, and then we wrapped up with Holo, which it was last week, I believe, was a big trader, and now it's starting to pump again. You can see I made 1160 on it. So let's go over to RGLS and zoom in for today's trade. The data, RGLS was an 8-minute hold at 235 up to 248. I did, and the good thing with Stock Journal, you can actually make your notes. You can also see the timeline of what happened. So 953 in at 235. I sold half off at 246, and then the final at 248, which gave me the $1,200 profit for a 5% gain. I usually shoot for 10%, but I was just seeing a couple things that I didn't like. The cutoff here, you can see I did manage to get at right around the high point, and then we started dying off for today, and it's just kind of sideways. So let's take a look at what I was seeing. We see entry at 235 at 953 and out at 246. 1 minute trade there, and then additional 7 minutes here. So 953. Take a look at the chart. Right around here, I noticed we did take off right at the market, 929, and we had that quick sell-off. Unfortunately, I see with these penny stocks, if there's really no news, the penny stock likes to go ahead and just sell off at the bell. You have all this pre-market trading going on, and then all of a sudden the bell hits, and it just seems to collapse from there. So I was like, okay, maybe the scanner, I'm going to watch it, see if it comes back up to VWAP, and guess what? It did. That's why I got in, because it did break the VWAP. So at 9:53, which was this last little candle right here, I went ahead and jumped in and wrote it up, I believe, 1 minute later. Yes, right around here, which was that resistance barrier right at the 247 and 247 mark. We did hit up here, but I went ahead and got out right here, which was the first trade. Got out at that 246 mark, and then 248 at 10:01. So 10:01 comes around. We do happen to break this, and I go ahead and just sell off right around this area before the major pullback back down to the VWAP. So that was that trade. That's my thinking going into that, was okay, if we at least retrace or rebound back up to the VWAP, I'm going ahead and go long, have a quick stop loss right at the 200 EMA or whatever the case may be, and then just go ahead and ride it up to this one. I was thinking maybe go ahead and go pre-market high of high, or highest high, but I was like, okay, I'm just going to do that 929 and then get out to be safe. It's not worth the additional, looks like 10 cents, so maybe 3 or 4%, 5% extra, so that would have been my 10% gain roughly. 230 up to 250, yeah, so 20 cents, 10%. Just wasn't worth it, so I went ahead and got out at that, and I'm happy. Anybody would be. I always say at least $1. I always say if you can make $1 rather than lose $1, it's a good day. So we're up $1,200. So we go over to CLRO. And we can see it's choppy too. Coming into pre-market, we have that huge sell-off, and then we met VWAP again. Around that time was around 10 o'clock. $9.58 to 10.14, 2.15 to 2.21, 2.15 at 9.58. So we go back over here at 9.58. You can see we did meet the VWAP. I think I got in around this red candle. I was hoping it would pull back a little bit more. Went ahead and just bought it, and then wrote it up to the profit. I think I said 221. Puts us around this range. So I was again going off the highest high for the at the bell. I seen these come in, and what I've noticed, if there's no news in pre-market, these things really don't want to ride out and beat this. They usually fall and then nothing else. These are happening. The reason I'm getting into these is because they're meeting that VWAP. The VWAP comes around, and if it breaks it, I'm in. And then I'm just riding it for 5, 10, 20%. Hopefully that's been my goal. Some of these have jumped 100, 200, 300, 400, all the way up to 700, 800%. But the chances of those happening over and over again, I think there was a couple stocks last week, the week before we seen that, and those were the biggest gainers so far this year. We only see those moves very rarely. So to go to $1.50 up to $2.50, and if we're not in at that time and it's a day later, then you're not probably going to see that again unless there's some major news. So remember that if there's major news during this pre-market volume and these trading periods, then you are going to probably have a green day, because what's called FOMO, the fear of missing out, people come in after they see the news and they start buying more and more and more and it just keeps on pushing the stock up. But if there's no news, these things just crash right at the bell. If they do happen to hit VWAP again, then that is a good indication, okay, maybe the traders are getting in again, which there is, and there's some volume to push these things up. Now, I haven't checked the float on these or anything, because these are pre-scanners by the TradingView scanner, and it does not show that info. I have to go in and see the float, click on and everything, but what I'm doing is once they hit the scanner, I immediately go to the chart and check to see what it looks like. Again, if it's hit the VWAP, it's over the 20 EMA, and it's definitely if it's over the 200 EMA, I'm looking for a chance to buy in, see a 10, 20%, 10 or 20 cent jump depending on the dollar amount. In this case, $2.20 is 10%, and I'm out. So we go over and I chase the stock again. I got in, I think, at around 10:18. As you can see, it just broke down on me, and I took the loss. It was a quick loss. I set my stop loss right around this area, and as you can see, it went through it. So no biggie. Down 150, still up 150 plus the 25 is $175 for this one. So instead of 325 plus this, I'd rather take the little small loss and still be up on CLRO. Only down 2% here, up 2%. So we're still up on, again, CLRO. Holo back in the action. We can see on the chart. And this is another good thing about Stock Journal. I don't have to bounce to show you guys the chart. However, for the indicators, that's why I'm trying to bounce between the two. But for Holo and Stock Journal, you can see your entries and where they were at on the chart and what the chart looks like even as of now. Actually, this is only reading till, that's weird. What, 1 minute charts? 11:35, what it cut off for? That's, Okay, so anyways, I bought on this candle, 1,500 shares, sold the 500 literally about a minute later, and that's what was up, waited for the pullback, and then sold the remaining shares right around here. So if we go over to TradingView and coordinate that, what it looks like, you can see again, we are up above the VWAP. We hit the support and resistance zones, and we continue to go all the way up to 836. However, you can see I was out finally around the 711 mark. With this hammer pull down, I was thinking it would drop, and instead it did drop, but you've seen the retracement on the bull side, and it continued to go up for the high of the day, up around 834, and now we're probably going down back around 682, and then the next support probably at 595. Yeah, 682, 690, and 657. That's what I would say 596, but yeah, right around this mark is the next one. So anyways, that's my analysis for Holo. Whether or not it's going to continue going up, we can see that the other day it did have a huge win, almost topping near $100, and now we're back down. We do see the VWAP starting to climb again. There is a lot of volume. So could this thing go up? You know, the next resistance is 698 on the one. Instead of looking at the 1 hourly, let's take a look at the daily. $13.90, $38.40, and then 96. At one time, this thing, when it first came out, roughly, it did hit all the way up to 350 from 100. So it jumped 3x there. There's a stock split, so that's why. So anyways, no news really other than regains NASDAQ compliance. This was on February 26th. This is, I think, a Chinese stock. So it was, I think they announced a partnership with NVIDIA, and that's why it jumped initially on the other day. Around, what day was that? Was it this day? It was this, and then it led over into February 16th. We did have an update here as well. Not really too much, but it did go up. And then, yeah, February 26th was this big day. It jumped. So then it came back down. But you can see it fell all the way from 51 down to 16. 16 back up, still fell. Now we're starting to gain again. Whether or not this is going just to be, this area is going to be what this is, a big bull, and then a huge sell-off down to $4, lose 50%, it probably could. So I was done and happy trading just this small area 602 up to 711. Back again, CLRO 218 and exit 219. I really just freaked out. I saw a green candle, and then it was a good call because chasing profit. I literally, it broke here and then just crashed. So I was using this as my take profit level. It just could not break 219, and I got out at 219. I just called it quits for the day. So anyways, I hope this video helped. Taking a look at the 1 minute charts on things like hollow, we can see that going into the market, if things start breaking down below the VWAP, it's obviously going to be a down day. But then if it happens to retrace and go back up the VWAP, it's a good trading day. So again, if there's no news from pre-market on, the stock has what I would say a 50-50 chance of hitting VWAP. If it never does, then it's just not worth getting in. And it's definitely, from my back testing analysis, we can even take a look at Discord. I've mentioned, I think one of these, a couple of these were not, they didn't go anywhere. Let's go to HNRA, HNRA real quick. And we can see what it did. It just, after it broke VWAP, it just never came back again. And that's what I'm saying. Right here it did. But there wasn't a lot of volume because you can see, I mean, there was compared to previously, but there's a lot of spaces in between here and gaps. So that tells me there's not a lot of shares being, or a lot of volume for these things to really do much, and it's just too risky. So as this thing hung around the VWAP, it just never could break. And then I'm looking at this. If you take a look at this chart and compare it to hollow, you can see the difference in the candles alone. And that's what I'm saying. If you can't break VWAP and you can't get that 10%, 20% jump, it's just not going to be worth it. And if you're hanging around VWAP, like right now, it's pretty much just waiting for the next consolidation and squeeze play. So until we hit these support zones, because we know that support and resistance zones and lines and areas are where the sellers and buyers have their limit orders, and they took orders for take profits and buy orders at these support and resistance zones. So we just don't want to trade sideways. There's nothing there, and it's just too risky. So we're waiting for these pivotal moments to come in, and that's what makes a good day trader, is recognizing these areas and also understanding the VWAP, the EMA, and just risk management overall. So anyways, if you've got any questions, make sure you reach out. I hope this video helped, and until next time, happy trading.